You are listening to Retire Texas Style, the podcast. We appreciate you joining us. Steve, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Jess?
Doing amazing. And just like the show says, Retire Texas Style, man, you are all over the state of Texas.
It's crazy. You know, got started in Amarillo, 34 years ago, Jess? And, then we had so much business in Lubbock, Texas, because I went to Texas Tech. That's where I got my finance degree. And it was like, wow. And then, as time kept up, we started having people driving from Seminole, Midland, Odessa, Hobbs, Carlsbad, all through the oil field to Lubbock. And then we finally realized, we need to go see them. So we opened offices in Midland, Odessa. And so, we were all across the Permian Basin, West Texas, the hub around Lubbock. And, then all of a sudden, I started, living part-time in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we started doing tons of business there. And then Austin kept calling. And, now, my gosh, we're all over Austin and that part of the state. And, we're everywhere.
Absolutely. I mean, you're everywhere helping everybody here in Texas retire and retire Texas style, meaning bigger and better than everybody else. And, Austin has always been near and dear to your heart. You have a lot of great memories here.
I went to Tech, and my twin brother, Jess, went to Texas. So I spent lots of time in Austin. It was funny. Ron would call and say, we have a formal, and I have this friend, this girl I want you to go with. And so I would drive in or fly in, and we'd go on a date, double date. And it was, those were just such great times. It was funny. I was last night thinking about the show and what we're going to talk about, and Ann Richards popped in my mind. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Remember
gosh.
Ann?
I do remember. She's famous for this line, right?
Poor George. He can't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth.
You gotta love her. I mean, people on opposite sides of the fence loved her. She was really big for equal rights. She was really big for female rights. She was the 45th governor of Texas. And, Jess, she started out as a school teacher. What a great job from somebody to be a school teacher to end up being the governor of the great state of Texas. It was funny, Jess, thinking about my brother. He went to work for a pool company, and my mom was in a group called Leadership Texas. She was a banker at one of the biggest banks in Texas, and she was in a group with Ann Richards. And so my brother called my mom one day and said, hey, guess who I saw today? I saw Ann. He said, well, Ann who? Well, Ann Richards. And she said, my mom's like, what? He said, yeah, that pool cleaning company. They sent me out to her house to clean the pool, and she came out and sat down while I worked, and we just had the best discussion. And Jess, that's what she was. She was just a true Texan, down to earth, transparent. She was just the neatest woman. I have twins that are 30, and Hayden, my son, went to school at Pride in New York City. So I always looked for reasons to fly out to New York and do things with him. So I called him and said, Hayden, in 6 weeks, there's this Ann Richards one-act play at the Met. It's opening week called Simply Ann. It was so much fun. It just brings back great memories. And I think the thing about Ann is if she was alive today and she looked at some of the crazy politics we've just had with the Attorney General, no matter what side of the fence you're on, you're saying, let's get back to business. Let's do great things in Texas. And I think when you think about what Ann did for the state of Texas, I think that's what we do every day for our clients, is really help them understand finances, have transparency, and really make sure their money's working for them. That's what it's about, Jess.
Absolutely. And, giving them that confidence as well, because let's be honest, we are all working hard and, we're doing everything we can. We're sacrificing. We're putting money in the 401k. We're putting money away for the kids or grandkids. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure that all these sacrifices add up to having that great retirement that you've always dreamed of. So when you come in and you sit down with Steve and you say, hey, I'm concerned about inflation. I'm concerned about taxes. I'm concerned I haven't done enough. Steve, paint the picture. What does that first time meeting with you look like?
We call it in Texas the Texas two-step, Jess. It's 2 step forwards, 1 step back. And the way that works is come in to see us. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. Ask those questions so you get to know us, we get to know you, and make sure we respect each other and we're a great fit. So before we talk about numbers, I want to know what makes you tick, and you find out about me. We have a huge responsibility what we do for our clients. We really help them figure out that last phase of life called retirement. So as you ask, we sit down, we get to know each other. And then before we can talk about where you're going, we have to look at where you've been. Growing up with my grandmother, I think she was widowed, and I was there to kind of help her navigate that. So I grew up with finances and kind of helped her with her finances. I think the devil's in the details. But when you come to see us, we're going to sit down, we're going to dig in, and we're going to find out what is really important to you in the future for your retirement. Do you have an emergency plan? Do you have an income strategy? Are you very efficient with your taxes? If something happened to you tomorrow, who are you going to leave your money to? We're going to figure out all these different parts of your retirement to put it together to make sure in retirement, as you start or if you're in it and get through it, that you have a plan. And we're going to make sure you have a written plan. And we're going to make sure that if COVID comes again, no matter what happens, we're going to shift gears and it's not going to wreck your financial future. So if you're looking for a financial strategy in retirement, we're your guys. Call us at Hoyl Financial. Let's first have a phone call, then let's sit down and get to know each other. As we said, the Texas two-step. We're going to take 2 steps forward, and we're going to step back and review and look at again and how to make it better. And for 34 years, Jess, we've been doing it all over the state. So I'm Steve Hoyl. Put my past 34 years to work to you today. Pick up that phone and call us.
Thanks so much for joining us for Retire Texas Style, the podcast. Get more details on the website, retiretexasstyle.com.
Hoyl Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and/or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Bonus annuities may include higher surrender charges, longer surrender charge periods, lower caps, higher spreads, or other restrictions that are not included in similar annuities that do not offer a premium bonus feature. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Hoyl Financial Group, Texas Insurance License 1719183.